Welcome to episode number 3 of Stronghold Moose? Stronghold Moose. Great. New game idea, Firefly. Welcome to episode number 3 of Stronghold Crusader Mechanics. In this series, I go over some basic Stronghold Crusader mechanics. So far, we have gone over height advantage and unit stances. If you haven't watched those, I'd recommend going over and looking at them, especially the unit stances video. The unit stances will be very important for this video. This video, we are going over movement types. Sounds kind of regular, but I promise you, there's going to be some stuff in here that will surprise you. If you want more information on any of these mechanics, feel free to ask in the comments down below, or come along to my Twitch stream and ask me live. I stream every Saturday and Sunday. The exact times will be below the stream on the link that should be showing up down here somewhere right about now. Now the first movement type is the one that you're probably the most familiar with, and that is, I call it regular movement. Simply select the units you want to move, and then click where you want them to go. Pretty basic, right? As I say, I'm pretty sure you'll know this one. This is the most simplest one. It's not affected by unit stance at all. It does not engage any units unless it physically comes into contact with that unit. It is particularly good for direct movements when you don't want them getting distracted or anything, and you don't want them stopping for anything, you just want them to go straight from A to B. The second movement type is the rally point. Again, most of you probably know this. This is where you recruit units and they go straight to the location that you've specified. For those of you who don't know this, it's pretty easy to do. You simply select the building you want to recruit out of, find the unit that you want to rally point. For example, if I want to do the horse archer here, I find out the number of it, so it's from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit the 5 key on my keyboard, and now there's this little flag showing up on my next to my mouse. I click that wherever I want them to show up, so I'll say there. And now when I recruit units, they go straight there. This is really good if you just want to quickly send units straight to a particular location and not worry about having to grab them and send them over. It's just much simpler. One thing to note about rally points is that there is a limit of 49 units available at any particular rally point. So as you can see, there are 49 here. If I recruit any more units, they won't leave the campground, they just sit there. One of the other things is, especially for horse archers, they do not fire from a rally point. If I send these guys just over to where we've got an enemy here, number 5, I'm going to rally point them right here next to all these archers. There they go, running away from that location. As you can see, all these horse archers are arriving at the point, but they are not firing at these archers here. If you tell them to go anywhere from there, all of a sudden, they'll start shooting. Now, a rally point can be a little odd as well. If you recruit some monks to go to a rally point, sometimes they will go to the rally point, sometimes they will go to the cathedral. I'm not sure the exact rules behind it. There are some people who know kind of the works in there. I'm sure there'll be comments down in the description below, or in the comments below, exactly explaining when the monks will go to the cathedral or to the rally point. So as you can see, once those guys reach my rally point, any more monks that are recruited are heading straight to the cathedral instead of going to that rally point. If I shift that rally point, only one of them is going to move instead of all of them. There are many quirks to do with the cathedral's rally pointing. Alright, so I've just had to redo this bit of video because it's kind of acting up a little bit on me. And I'll explain what acts up and why, because I did figure it out. Rally points can only be placed to a location that is pathable from the recruitment building. So for example, I've got a mercenary post here, completely walled in from my base. These guys are not able to access the area here. You can't get there from where the campfire is. And if I select this and I try to put a rally point for my slaves, which is number 2, 1, 2. As you can see, it's grayed out, and no matter how many times I click, there is not going to be any flags placed. However, I can place it in the middle here. But if I recruit any units there, they just stay at the campfire because they cannot reach it. Now, the part that kind of acted up for me when I tried doing it with these Arabian archers is, what have I not done? I've not done, let's go with these fire throwers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put that right at the edge of this area. They still cannot reach this flag. However, the rally point is an area around that flag. So if I recruit some fire throwers now, they will move and they'll sit on the outside of this wall here. Now, some particular units will move at different speeds when they're moving along to a rally point as when they are moving from a regular movement. In particular, the knights and European archers move slower than normal, and assassins move faster than normal. In multiplayer games, you'll often find that the assassins will be controlled almost entirely by rally point. They'll use the hotkey 4, recruit their assassins, and when they're ready to move forward, they just open up their mercenaries post again, hit 4, and tell them the next place to go. This can be awkward if you don't know your hotkeys. I will be doing a video in the future for hotkeys, but in this case, Control N opens up the mercenaries post without moving the camera. If you just hit the N button, it'll open your mercenaries post, but it'll jump this camera over to where the mercenaries post is. So Control N will not move it, so you can easily be on somewhere else, and then Control N for place and control your assassins that way. As I say, assassins are moving faster in this way, so people try to use it just to get that little bit of extra speed boost. Now, the rest of these movement types will be affected by unit stances in the same way. So I'm going to go through and describe all the different types of movement, and then I'll go back over it and explain the unit stances effect on them. The third movement type is patrol. This is also another one that's fairly well known, but not everyone does know it. Simply click this button here in the bottom left with that looks like a kind of return arrow, and then click the place that you want your units to patrol to. It works. There we go, worked the second time. Sometimes it doesn't work, obviously, but generally they'll just move from flag to flag. This is particularly useful with horse archers. So here I've got 3 horse archers. I'm going to patrol them just this far, and then I'm going to make 5 horse archers attack them. Obviously these horse archers are going to have the height disadvantage, but the more important part is watch these arrows. Not a single arrow is hitting these horse archers. What is happening is they fire while this... Guys, let's slow this down so you can kind of see it. When they fire their arrows, right now that arrow got shot and they were moving that way. By the time it lands, they have turned around and they're moving back. And this is going to continue happening. The arrows are going to be landing where they expect the horses to be if they hadn't stopped to patrol. If you patrol these units too short, they don't fire. Too long, it doesn't work as well and they get hit. If I get these horse archers to patrol a really short distance, let's speed this up so we can see it a bit easier. As you can see, they're changing direction before they're able to fire. So you need to get the horse archers right, but they're the only ones that do this. The fourth movement type is a complex patrol. I mean, this patrol is pretty good, but what if you don't just want to be going from A to B and back? What if you want to send your units in a circle? For example, what if I wanted these horse archers to patrol this entire hill here? That can be done. So to do a more complex patrol, I can select my horse archers, click patrol like I did earlier. This time I'm going to hold down the shift key. I'll click the locations that I want to place, and they will go all the way around. I'm going to speed this up. As you can see, once they get to the final one, they just start the whole circle again. You can have up to 10 rally points. So we've got 5 here. So I'm going to tell them to stop there. We're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, that last rally point keeps being moved to wherever I put this next one. Now we're on to the 5th movement type, and this is called waypointing. Hold up. I want to change that. Attack move. Much better. I'll explain why I changed that in just a moment. Now this attack move is probably the most unknown of all of these options. So basically, what is waypointing? Well, you may have noticed I called waypoints was with the complex patrol earlier. Attack move or waypointing is basically the same thing, except you don't have them return to the start and continuously go on the loop. And to do that, I'm just going to select my units, same as last time. I am not going to hit the patrol button, so I have not selected that. I'm going to hold the shift key, and I'm going to click where I want them to go. And when they get to the last flag, they stay there. Now, one thing to note about waypointing or attack move is if I select these units, I tell them to go somewhere first, and then I hold down the shift key, tell them to go somewhere, it will not work. I will need to unselect the units, select them again, hold shift, and I can do it again. So you cannot give a regular instruction and then give the waypoints, but you know, it's not too big a deal. This is particularly useful when you want to send a unit around the enemy's army or around the enemy's base without having to watch them. For example, I might say I have this knight here, and I want to get them behind this this player's keep. I'll just select the unit. I'm going to hold shift, send them in here, send them along the back here, all the way back into the buildings. Where has he gone? He's most of the way there already. There we go. So he can get there without having to, you know, go through the army. So there might have been an army right here, but sending him that way with the waypoints allowed him to go around any potential armies, and that is the great power of this particular thing. And as I say, very few people know about it, and I really want to see it used a lot more often. Now, how do stances work with this? Well, I'm glad you asked. I told you I'd get to it earlier, and I'm going to get to it right now. As you know, we have 3 unit stances: stand ground, defensive stance, or aggressive stance. And I've said this several times already in this video, but if you haven't watched the video on how those work, go back and watch it, because I'm going to use a couple of details that we figured out in that video in this video. Now, so stand ground is the default, and for all of these movement types, they are going to behave exactly like they did with the regular movement. They will not fight unless they come into physical contact with an enemy. If I have these guys patrol to up here, as you can see, they are running past. They're not stopping to fight these guys at all. Now for melee, the defensive stance and aggressive stance work the same way. Basically, when they run into a unit within their engagement range, which we described in the last video, the unit stances video, I believe it was 5 for defensive and 25 for aggressive. Once they see a unit within that area, they will stop to fight those units. Once those units are gone, then they will continue on to the next thing. So for example, these guys, I'm going to set them to defensive stance. these guys, you saw this guy's got in range, killed a few units, and then carried on. If I hit to aggressive, they will keep on attacking until they find everybody. And then they'll continue on their patrol. And it works the exact same way for complex patrols and attack move. For ranged units, defensive and aggressive stance work identically as far as I can tell. So if I select these Arabian archers here, put them on aggressive stance, and then I tell them to patrol all the way to the top here. Once they get into range, half of them will start, in this case 4 will stop to shoot the Arabian archer until he's dead. Apparently the other one can actually reach him, but then he will wait there until they all arrive, and then they can continue on their patrol. The exact number that stops the fight seems to be variable. Sometimes it's half, sometimes lower than half, sometimes above half. It seems completely random. I haven't seen any rhyme or reason between why it goes the exact number that they that do stop. So it's around about half is a good rule of thumb, but it can be more or less. But I haven't explained, why did I change waypointing to attack move? For a very good reason. I'm going to put that swordsman back in the center here. Have him just off to the side. And instead of having these archers patrol up here, I'm going to use waypointing, but I'm only going to click once. So I've selected the units. I'm going to hold the shift key. I'm going to click up here just the once. They are on aggressive. And as you can see, once again, 4 stop to shoot. The other one continues. And they are going to wait until this guy is dead. This is going to be particularly useful in games when you're sending units along a path that they could engage with enemy. And you just want to, you want to use a regular movement. However, you want to be able to stop to shoot any assassins that they might pick up on as they walk or something like that. Holding shift once, clicking, voila, attack move. Well, that was a long one today, but I hope you found that interesting. Using these other movement types can free up your time from doing these small repetitive tasks to be able to do other things as well, which increases your actions per minute effectively. And if you use it in conjunction with unit stances, you can do a whole lot of damage with very little attention. You can get a raid right into your opponent's base, do a whole lot of damage, destroy half the town with only 2 clicks. But thank you for hanging around to the end of the video. I really do appreciate that watch time. It helps me to get these videos out in front of more people. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, dislike it, unsubscribe, whatever the heck you want to do. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you want more information on these, once again, you can ask in the comments below, or you can head along to my Twitch stream. I stream every Sunday and Saturday in the weekend. Sunday and Saturday, Saturday and Sunday, whatever you want to call it. If you have any ideas on what I can cover in this series, or what you really want to know about, ask them down in the comments below, and I'll add it to my list. I do have a couple already coming up, and I've got a couple of non-mechanics videos also that I've got up here somewhere, so maybe a while. I generally try to get these special videos out once every 4 weeks at this stage, just because of my real life situation. Once every 4 weeks I'll get one of these videos out, and the other 3 weeks will be a gameplay video coming straight from the stream. Until next time, keep crusading. Hey, whoa. Come on. Pig, you're not supposed to be attacking this early. This could be end of game right here.